So long, farewell, Avita, say goodnight. I hate to go and leave this pretty side. Welcome to the OC. Bitch.
What you say?
I told you that it's time to start the show.
That you only meant well.
Yeah, the show's gonna do well.
Of course you did. What you say?
I said let's go.
That it's all for the best.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be like the best podcast.
What you say?
God, do I have to keep repeating myself?
Just what we need. You decided this.
Hold up, I
What
thought we
you
both
say?
decided to do this.
What did she say?
I said let's start the show.
Hey everyone, welcome to Whatcha Say, an OC podcast. My name is Lise Daly.
And I'm Scott Daly.
Together, we're the Dailies.
This is the podcast where my wife falls asleep while recording because that's how tired she is. But seriously, this is the podcast where each and every week we race to the airport just to tell the girl that we're just really good friends with goodbye forever. This week we watched the OC Season 1, Episode 21, The Goodbye Girl.
Have you ever raced to the airport to say goodbye to somebody?
No,
like
I don't
that?
think
Does that happen in real life?
I don't think that actually happens in life. I don't think anyone actually races to the airport.
I mean, it would be really sweet, though, if someone did that to me.
I met you at the airport when you were coming back from Europe. Do you remember that?
You did. That was nice.
And then I told you I loved you. Not in the airport. That was later.
Yeah. Yeah, a while later. But I knew that you did. You wanted to tell me then because you got drunk and you almost said it over the text while I was gone. And then you held yourself back. It was fine. But I knew. I read between the lines.
Normally, I think Elise would be a lot happier about the story, but she's just so very tired. So
I'm just about how I feel about the story.
Okay.
It's fine.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. Let's get into the show, shall
Oh,
we?
yeah. The part that everybody likes. Everyone's favorite section. It's the roadies authorities.
I think you've reached, like drunk level of tiredness to where you kind of sound like you're drunk. So I'm just, from now on, I'm just going to say my wife Elise is wasted.
No, I'm not.
You're not helping your case there. This is the part of the podcast where Elise and I look back on the last week, talk about the good and the bad. We call them roses and thorns.
Rosies and thornies.
I'm sorry. As always, we start with the bad. Elise, what was your bad thing this week?
Scott, it seems like this happens every year. Last year, we thought we saw the correct movie and we didn't. This year, we thought we saw the correct movie and we didn't. I don't know if it's the theater we're going to or what it is, but they just switched the movie and all the critics see the good version and we just see the bad version. And the bad version of the movie gets nominated for all these Oscars.
Okay,
and the Joker. I'm getting to it. You don't let me build up enough.
You just bury the lead under
No,
so much stuff.
People are wondering. They're like, what is it that she's talking about? Did they really do this? What's going on? Guys, it's okay. The Joker is a bad movie. And we saw it. And I don't understand. I don't understand why it's getting so many Oscar nominations. And don't try and defend it. Don't just go on afterwards and be like, oh, did you not like this? And this? I don't care.
Are you talking
I'm not
to
going to
me?
listen
Are you
to it. No,
talking to the-
I know you believe the same thing as me. I'm just saying everyone else out there, if you're like
Elise
going to go to
Daly,
defend it,
just talking
don't even try.
Talking shit to her
Don't even
listeners.
try. You know what's going to happen is I'm just going to shut you down. I'm just going to shut down. And you know what? You might bring up a good point. And you know what? I don't care. It wasn't good. That's my mind. It's made up. No change in it.
I think the critics were a lot more divisive on this movie than you think it is. I will tell you that film
Well,
Twitter,
then don't give it 11 award nominations.
Hey, Elise, who picks who wins the Academy Awards?
Dumb people.
It's not critics. It's the industry. It's members of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences.
People who don't really understand what the people want is who it is.
You are a proponent of the People's Choice Awards.
People's Choice Awards. Yes, let's talk about the People's Choice Awards.
The people
who
are
was
stupid.
nominated for the People's Choice
They
Awards?
haven't happened yet. The Critics' Choice Awards happened this weekend.
Were they good? Who won those awards?
I don't know.
Did the Joker win any of those?
Let's see. Pulling it up right now. Critics' Choice Awards.
You know what I appreciate about the Oscar nominations, though?
What?
I told you this. No cats.
No cats.
No cats.
No cats. I have a question for you. You
What?
said in your long wind up to talking about how everyone liked this movie and you didn't.
Yes.
You mentioned that this happened last year again
Yes.
as well. What movie were you talking about last year?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
No, okay. Yeah, no critic liked that movie.
All these people that I talked to liked it.
You need to be on Film Twitter more because that's where the conversation's happening. And you know what Film Twitter did
Scott,
today?
I have
They
too
were
many
super
things.
mad at Joker.
Too many things going on. Not enough time for film Twitter. It's just not good.
I'm
okay?
sorry. Yeah, my thorn is the Oscars in general. Like we love award show. We talk our rose last week was the Golden Globes. Our thorn this week is the Oscars. Man, Oscars.
Why don't they just get better?
Greta Gerwig did not get nominated for Little Women, which is
Yeah.
bullshit. The Farewell did not get nominated, which is bullshit. Jennifer Lopez did not get nominated for Hustlers. That's
Hustlers.
bullshit. Just a bunch of bullshit, and that's my thorn. The Oscars are so bad. Oscars so bad. Hashtag spread the
Scott,
hashtag.
should we just stop watching them?
No, we have to. It's my job, and also
I don't know. I start to question it year
least-
after year.
50% of being a person who likes the Oscars is hating the Oscars. That's just the way it works. I'm sorry to inform you that is the way this thing works, and there's nothing we can do about it.
I used to like them more.
Well, you've learned more about film thanks to your wonderful husband.
No, I think it's just movies have gotten worse.
No, that's not true.
It's true.
It's not true.
Michael agrees with me.
Michael doesn't know what he's talking about.
Michael knows what he's talking about.
At least what's your rose?
He's a doctor, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
In chemistry.
Shh. Doesn't matter. There's a title.
What's your rose?
Oh, you don't have a thorn.
I did. I said just the Oscars.
Okay, you just stole mine.
Whatever.
Scott,
Yes.
it's bad.
Oh God. This is how you work your Bachelor talk in? I didn't see it on the script and I thought
The
we were
Bachelor's back. Peter's back. I didn't really like Peter before, but the show's back. I'm
It
so
is.
excited.
We just the reason Elisa's so tired tonight is because we just had to watch The Bachelor before we recorded. So it's 9:00 at night, which is well past Elisa's bedtime, and she's not happy about it.
No, I'm not.
But you got to watch your Bachelor.
I did. It
Are
was
you
a
loving
good
it?
episode.
The villains, the heroes,
know-
the champagne.
You know what I appreciated
What-
about this season?
What do you appreciate?
Number one,
Number one.
no watch parties during the first episode.
Yeah.
Number two, sped up first rose ceremony so that only in the first hour of the show was the very first night rose ceremony, and then it went straight into the dates. Number three, it's just pretty fast paced. All in all, it's
There were
pretty
two
good.
rose ceremonies tonight. They knocked two of them
No,
out.
not two rose ceremonies. There's
Wait.
one rose ceremony. One.
Well, then how's it any faster pace? This is the normal pace.
No. They would have just had only the one rose ceremony. I don't know, Scott. It's faster paced. It's just more television in there instead of the drawn out horribleness of the little packages at the front about the people. Who cares? We get to know them during the season. It's fine. Anyways, it's back on. It's
Yay.
a good show. You should watch it.
I mean, I don't really have a choice.
Yep.
So,
You're welcome.
yeah.
I make your life better.
Mm-hmm.
What's your Rosie?
My rose is a stealth plug for my other show. Our
So
show,
we'll just skip over it. So, okay,
Our show,
Scott,
Kingslingers.
This episode, I'm just kidding.
Our show, Kingslingers, a Dark Tower podcast where we are looking through the Dark Tower novels chapter by chapter over the next year and a half or so.
Mm-hmm.
It begins this Thursday. The first episode comes out this Thursday. We recorded it yesterday, and it's coming out soon, and I'm just so very excited for it. I've been wanting to do this show for a very long time. It's finally here. It's an exciting time, and I'm just really happy to really just spend some time with my boy, Steven.
Hey, Scott,
Yes?
shall I make a commercial for the Kingslingers?
Not right now, you shouldn't, because your voice has zero energy in it, and no one would want to listen to that.
Slingshot. Sling it around like you just don't care.
See,
Are you gonna wave Stephen King around in the air?
the funny thing is, I felt bad about saying what I just said, that you have no energy, and then you proceeded to prove my point for me.
No, this is energy.
Here, let
This
me-
is
let-
energy in a
this is
different
good-
way.
This is good radio. Sling. Sling around. Around and around. The king is slinged.
Slung.
Oh, that's great radio, babe.
Slungers.
Hey, why don't we talk about the OC? Let's do that.
That's what we're here for.
Okay.
Okay. So episode 21, The Goodbye Girl, is the 21st episode of season 1 of the OC.
It is.
It was written by Josh Schwartz.
Trying so hard to be energetic.
It was written by Josh Schwartz and directed by Patrick R. Norris, who also directed the season 1 episode, The Heights, which is the one where Ryan and Marissa made out on a Ferris wheel. Those are scary. Sometimes I don't like Ferris wheels.
Jesus.
It originally aired on March the 3rd, 2004.
And the summary of this episode.
Why are you upset? Why do you look at me like that?
Because you're just being ridiculous. Like, I'm watching your WAV file, and it's just like, boom, and then woo, at
Well,
the very
Scott,
end.
why don't you stop watching the WAV file and you start looking at me in the eyes when I'm talking to you?
I can't do it.
Eye contact.
I have to
That's-
constantly monitor your sound because it shifts so much during the course of the show.
I can't help that I have great inflection.
When Anna announces that she's leaving Newport to go back to her home in Pittsburgh,
Yes. That is the most important part of this whole episode.
Seth feels guilt-ridden for the way he treated her. Meanwhile, trouble brews for both Caleb and Kirsten at the Newport group over their legal funds, and Sandy tries to help them out. Luke finds that his secret romance with Julie is getting harder to keep secret.
Harder.
Something else is getting harder. Also,
Why did we both make that joke?
because we're both disgusting.
Aw.
Also, Theresa brings a lot of trouble for herself and Ryan from Chino when her boyfriend Eddie shows up, making Ryan slightly jealous and worried about Teresa's well-being.
I think slightly is an understatement.
Elise, what did you think about this episode overall? What's your thought?
I don't like Teresa.
Yeah, we've gone over that.
And so she's in this episode, and then someone who I do like leaves.
Anna.
And so it's just not real good.
But Teresa also leaves this episode.
Does she?
I mean, for now. I don't think Teresa's done in the show, but she does leave the episode.
Yeah.
She packs all her stuff up and she moves back to Chino to be with Eddie. Chino
Yeah.
Eddie.
Yeah. That's true.
I like this episode.
You did?
I liked the goodbye to Anna. Like we talked about this last week. I like that the show spent the time to give Anna like a proper send off. I do think it was a little weird how they did it because like they did the very stereotypical airport scene, right? But they're friends. They're not dating.
They're like besties.
Yeah, I guess.
Seth's closest thing to a bestie.
Yeah, we'll talk about
His first
that.
friend that was the girl.
We'll talk about
And
that.
then his first girlfriend.
That's
But
true.
not his first hoo-ha friend.
Hoo-ha friend?
Yep.
Hoo-ha friend?
Yeah, I just coined it. Ding.
All right, let's move right into the episode.
You know what that means?
What?
Ding means got it.
What are you talking about?
I'm kind of sleepy. Okay, so Scott, we open the episode in the kitchen of the Coens with Ryan and Seth discussing Seth's kiss.
Ryan's kiss. Sorry.
Ryan's kiss with Teresa from last week.
Yeah, and so our director of this episode, Pat Norris, like this entire scene, I don't know if you noticed this.
Oh my gosh.
This entire scene is a oneer.
Hang on.
What?
Is he related to Chuck Norris?
I don't think so. I think there are probably a lot of people with the last name Norris.
There's not a lot of Norrises in the world.
I feel like there are.
I think we should figure this out. I'm going to let you continue talking.
Are you?
I'm
Are
just
you
going to
sure?
ponder it. I'm not going to look it up, but I'm just going to think about how much better the world would be if this was true. Okay, continue.
Man, this is really super topical Chuck Norris references. Probably would have worked in the day this episode came out, not in 2020.
Did you know I had an autographed picture from Chuck Norris?
I did not.
Yeah.
One of these days we'll get that story.
It's a fairly quick story, but I'll let you continue your talking.
Okay. So yeah, this scene is like a long take. It's a oneer. Like we follow. It's like a
Like
walk and talk.
1917.
Sure. It's like a walk and talk, but this is a real one. This is not just edited smartly to make it look
Like
like one.
Birdman.
No, that was edited to make it look like one too. This is a
Are
real
you
one.
sure that this is a real one then, or are they all edited to make it look like a real one when
No,
it's
this
not
is
really
a real one.
one?
It's a minute long. This is like a Spielberg oneer. It's like
So he's the only one that
it's
can
like
do it.
It's like a walk and talk from West Wing. So like Seth is like
Not
hounding
real
Ryan.
in West Wing.
Huh?
Not real in West Wing.
Seth
Those
is
are fake.
hounding Ryan about what his plan for Theresa is. Is she going to rent a place? Is she going to lease? Is she going to buy? How's she going to drive here? What route is she going to take? Is she going to get a job? What about school? And he just hounds her. And I think this long take really works for that because it's like this long following.
And Seth doesn't ever take a breath.
Yeah, and so like it helps go with the emotion of the scene. And the long take ends with Ryan just finally says enough, and he just done. He can't
And then
deal with
Chuck
it anymore.
Norris karate chops him through the chest.
Yes, that happens.
Yep. Slams him down on the bed. And then leaves. And then Seth is pooling in blood.
Yep, that's definitely
And
what
the
happened.
end of the show happens.
Yeah, that's it. That's the end of the show.
I'm just kidding. Okay, so Theresa shows up. Actually, not Chuck Norris, it's Theresa. But we take Chuck knocking her out too. She offers them a ride to school because she has a car. But then someone else who has a car, Marissa, she shows up too to offer them a ride to school. And Scott wants to know why people don't call before they show up.
Yeah,
because
everyone in this freaking town just shows up unannounced.
they should have phones, and that's the normal thing is when you're gonna head over to someone's house, maybe give them a heads up.
Yeah, call them on their cell
that's
phone
just
that they have
nice.
with them always. Because
Yeah.
they all have cell phones. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe Theresa doesn't have a cell phone. Marissa definitely has a cell phone.
Well, that was rude. Just because she's from Chino doesn't mean she wouldn't have a phone.
She's unemployed. She's staying in a motel.
It's a good point, Scott. It's a good point. Okay. California, here we come. Okay, so Sadie and Kirsten are sitting in the kitchen, and Marissa and Theresa are both fleeing from the awkward situation. Then Marissa calls them Kirsten and Sandy. Theresa calls them Mr. and Mrs. Cohen.
Yeah.
It's the same sort of thing as like Anna and Summer.
Yeah, she shows them respect. And so obviously the show loves Theresa more than Marissa.
Did you know that in Mississippi, they would call them like Miss Kirsten and Mr. Sandy?
In just Mississippi? That's the
I
only
just
place?
know about Mississippi.
I think it's like a southern thing in general.
But I never did that.
Well, like
And
a
I'm
deep
in the
south
southern.
thing. Texas doesn't count.
Okay. Well, Caleb, the big thing about this show, because we have to have a party in every show, Scott. What's the party for this episode?
Caleb has won Riviera Magazine's Man of the Year, and they're going to throw a big old party for him.
So, like for the Riviera magazine, it's like Man of the Year. John Legend, he got people's sexiest Man of the Year. So technically, Caleb is like John Legend.
That's interesting math there. I don't really agree with that at all.
I mean, John Legend's better, but Caleb's John Legend.
He's
the sexiest man of the OC.
The important part here is that it's an excuse to throw another party.
That's
we
true.
got to end all our episodes with a giant party.
Yep. Okay.
So Sandy and Kirsten hound Ryan on all the same questions that Seth just gave to him. And Seth's response to this is, I am this way for a reason. And Ryan, of course, has no answers to any of these questions. He had no idea what he's doing, doesn't know answers. It's bad. It's all bad. And he just kind of runs away from the situation.
He does. And we go to our main man, Scott, after this. We go to the best musician on the entire show, Luke. Now, we're a little bit sad about the fact that we're seeing Luke jam out on his guitar, and he doesn't have quite as much soul as he did before, but we still know that we enjoy having Luke on his guitar, and he's just singing out in that the table.
The table.
I wanted to say the courtyard, but I guess it's not really a courtyard.
He's just outside.
But he's just outside. He's just feeling the breeze. And Marissa asks him how it was seeing Ryan and Marissa together whenever that happened, because she's now seeing Ryan and Theresa together and doesn't quite know how to handle the situation.
Yeah, and the answer to that question is it's not good. It's hard. And Luke actually gives some pretty decent advice here. At least maybe banging a 30-something-year-old is causing some wisdom to rub off on him. That was rub.
You want me to make a
Sex.
rub joke? I
Sex.
knew you wanted me to make a rub joke.
But he does say, the sooner you realize it's never going to be back to the way it was, the sooner you can move on. And that, I think, gets to a lot of what Marissa's behavior of this chapter
It's not a chapter. We watch shows here. Chapters are for the other thing, you know, when you read with the words. Mm-hmm. This is you watch with the pictures.
Uh-huh. So the big part of this episode, I think, and her actions in this episode are her taking this advice to heart and really stop trying to win him over, stop trying to do things to win him back, but just to be a decent human being to a person she cares about.
I don't know if she can do that because she's Marissa.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see.
Anyways, Summer, Anna, and Seth are all hanging out at lunch. They're eating sushi again because, California. And they're talking about plastic surgery and about how chins are the new nose.
Which is like a joke that's made like 3 times in this episode. Summer's father's a plastic surgeon. And I feel like we might have known that before.
I knew this, but I don't remember if you knew this. You know, we see her dad eventually in the show.
I probably.
Spoilers.
Probably.
Her dad's a real person.
And so they're talking about the chins and the noses and Picasso, and Summer makes a dumb comment, and she was just joking. She's not actually dumb. And she says, I'm not stupid, just shallow. And I love Summer. Have I mentioned lately that I love Summer? Because I love Summer.
Have you mentioned lately that you love me?
I mention that every day, multiple times per day.
I don't know if it's enough.
Okay.
But Anna announces at this luncheon that she's going to be moving back to Pittsburgh, which you're not shocked by because you predicted it based on the title of the show. But someone who is shocked, Seth. Seth did not realize that his friend Anna was going to be moving back to Pittsburgh, and it's really bumming him out.
He's not taking it well. Not taking it well at all.
No, not taking it well at all.
Ryan and Theresa are also meeting for lunch in her car in the parking lot of the school, and she's looking for jobs in the classified ads. Wasn't like last week, I feel like she had a job at a catering company.
It was like a temp job.
What happened to? Did she get fired for running off with Ryan in the middle of the work day?
Contrary to your popular belief, based on the episodes of the show, there's not a party every waking moment in the OC.
I don't think that's true.
Okay, and then sometimes you can't just work the party. You have to work the party. You know what I mean?
That means. No, you can't like do a little shimmy and then I suddenly know what that means.
Okay, so it's not like you work the party as you're the part of the catering staff at the job. It's like you wear the nice dress and you work yourself around at the party. You just work the party.
What does that have to do with the fact that she suddenly doesn't have a job yet?
Well, that's why, because sometimes you can't work the party. You got to work the party.
So she lost her job so she could go to the party.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Oh, wow.
That's what Ryan did.
Did he?
He's working that party.
What? You keep saying this. It's weirding me out.
Why?
They secretly kiss under a newspaper for some reason.
Yeah.
Is it like because like you can't show affection at school or something? I don't know.
It's because Ryan doesn't want to be openly affectionate with Theresa in front of Marissa. Everybody knows that.
Embarrassed of her.
Well, that's part of it. He's embarrassed by her. The second part of it is he doesn't want to hurt Marissa's feelings because he still feels something for Marissa. He's just a very confused little boy. Like all boys.
So is this relationship doing anything more for you at this point? Anything at all?
No.
Still hate it?
Yes.
I watched them kiss under that newspaper, and I was just like, I am not feeling this just any little tiny bit.
It's not newsworthy.
I'm not. It's bad. It's bad. I'm not.
It's what you get, babe.
I'm not feeling
what you get.
Ryan and Coop any more than I'm feeling Ryan and Theresa. So I'm not like hoping that she'll leave the show so they can get back together again.
You know,
but this whole plot line.
One, maybe 2 people that I like that Ryan dates in his entire
spoilers
thing.
Now I know. Spoilers? Now I know this show's ruined.
Why?
Because I know he dates other people.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Marissa dates other people.
Ugh. You're killing me.
Yeah. I'm not even going to tell you all about the people that Marissa dates.
All right, so Luke shows up at Julie's house, and we see little Caitlin for the first time in months. It's been months and months and months. Little Shailene Woodley's here, and she's like clearly crushing on Luke. Like she has a little like 12-year-old girl crush on Luke as well. So like every single Cooper is down.
Wants Luke.
Is down with the Luke. Yeah. Like we're gonna learn in the next episode that Jimmy Cooper he's wanting that too. I think that's gonna happen too. That's what's next.
That would be gross. Because Jimmy and Luke, their personalities just don't mesh. Actually, maybe they do. They're both like airheads completely.
I love his excuse for coming over was, I just wanted to help out with your DSL. and like, okay.
I couldn't think of something for DSL to stand for.
Dick
quick
sucking
enough.
lips.
Oh, yeah. That is.
I mean, that's probably what the show is going for there.
I forgot about that.
But like, Julie's response is, as much as I wanted high-speed internet access, it's not worth Caitlin becoming suspicious. Which is like, just hearing Julie say the phrase, as much as I wanted high-speed internet access, is the most fucking 2004 thing about this show ever.
Oh.
Of course, Jimmy shows up to pick up Caitlin and is very confused to see Luke there. But don't worry, Elise. He's just there to defrag Julie's hard drive.
Yeah, he is.
There's a sex joke in there somewhere, and I don't know where it is. Hey, Elise, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What is defragging a hard drive?
So when you have a hard drive, you got to open it up.
Sure.
And then you got to find the frag.
Yeah, and what do you do with the
And when you
frag?
find the frag, you got to take it out. Because if you break apart the word, the D, the D means you got to get rid of.
Yeah.
The frag, meaning the frag is there. And the ing means right now, present. So you have to take out the fragging.
So obviously you don't know. And that's okay. And I didn't ask.
Do you know?
Yeah.
What is it?
Hard drives, the way saving files onto a hard drive works.
With a
is
floppy disk?
No. Onto a hard drive.
What? There's no floppy disks anymore?
No. Saving files onto a hard drive, basically what your computer will do. Newer computers do this less, but back in the old days of 2004, it just writes to any free space it finds. So eventually, like, it's all fragmented. So defragging the hard drive takes all the files and just defrags them and puts things together where they should go. So things generally load faster. You used to have to do it fairly regularly to computers. You still probably should. The computers are a little bit better about this now.
To your woman too.
The point is,
yeah.
I didn't ask you this to call you out on not knowing it. I think it's fine that you don't know it. The reason I called you out on it. I knew what it meant.
You're taking the frag. And you're getting rid of it.
The reason I called you out on it is because it's Julie that in this needing an excuse for why Luke's here reaches for, he's here to defrag my hard drive. And I'm sorry, show. I just don't believe Julie Cooper has ever heard about defragging a hard drive.
Do not underestimate my girl Julie Cooper.
I don't believe you are smarter than Julie Cooper. You are smarter than Julie Cooper.
Thank you.
You are more worldly than Julie Cooper. You are more tech savvy than Julie Cooper. And you do not know what defragging a hard drive is.
What about Kirsten? How do I compare with Kiki?
You don't want to do that to me.
I do. I want to know.
You're so much better than Kiki.
Am I?
What does she do? Like, she just works for her daddy. You don't work for your daddy. You're on your own. You're teaching the youth.
I've made a woman for myself.
You're totally better than Kiki.
Thank
100%.
Thank you.
100%.
My hair's better.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Don't ever go blonde. I don't want that. Don't do it.
I'm gonna go blonde one day. I am.
Okay. So that's the end of that scene. That's really weird. But then we cut over to the Coens, and Sandy's cooking up some swordfish on the grill.
Something of his own.
And he has a really good heart-to-heart with Ryan about Theresa. Basically, you're both high school students. You're in over your heads here. She's engaged. She needs to go to school.
She's not officially engaged.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing, Ryan? And
he doesn't know what he's doing.
He doesn't. But Sandy convinces Ryan that
the problem.
The smartest thing to do is to go tell her that she needs to go home. She needs to figure out her life right now. It's too complicated. There's too much.
Why so gotta go make things so complicated?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Avril.
Yeah. So Caleb, John Legend, if you will.
I will not.
He comes over for dinner because it's the perfect opportunity for Sandy and Caleb to talk about Uncle Sean and how Sandy's going to help Caleb with Uncle Sean's business. He says he's going to take care of it if Caleb agrees to tell Kirsten everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit of that, you scratch my back, I scratch yours.
I think it's important to him that just like this lying to his wife stops. So if he's going to do anything, Sandy needs to do that first.
He's going to help clear her name, but then she's going to know what's happening.
Yeah, and she needs to know.
And so my moral compass, even though it's getting tainted, at least there will be a light shine.
It's got a little dirt on it,
somewhere.
but that's fine. It's fine. So Ryan goes over to Teresa's apartment or motel room, and he's ready to tell her that she needs to leave. But she speaks first. And what she says is she's called up Eddie on the phone, and she says, Eddie, I'm not coming home. And then so Ryan just decides, oops, that thing I was going to tell you, just kidding. And so that's Ryan once again pushing off decision-making because he just doesn't want to do it. Just doesn't want to do it. That's our boy. That's our protagonist.
And we still have not seen any sort of crossover between the next door neighbor that Theresa has.
No,
just want to point this out.
Every time they go to this damn motel room, I get really excited that we're going to bump into the other person, and it has not happened.
Not yet. Nope. So, where are we? Caleb, he goes through and he tells Kiki everything. Oh, I'm sorry. No. We left out the most self-absorbed character in the entire show.
Who's that?
Not Summer. I know everyone's shocked, right? Mm-hmm. It's actually Seth. Seth thinks that the reason that Anna's leaving is all because of him.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because she misses her friends. It's not because she wants her cat. It's not anything other than the fact that she's just still such in love with Seth that if she just stays, then it's going to be so hard. And so the only way she can deal with that is if she leaves.
Yeah, that's what he feels.
Yeah.
But he's not self-absorbed at all, is he? Is he? Me. He just starts shouting me at Ryan at that point because Ryan's not paying attention.
No.
Me. That's what I'm going to do to you when you're not paying attention to me. I'm just going to be like, me.
You're going to have a bit of a red mark on your face.
Why?
Because I'm going to slap you silly.
You ever notice how you go right to violence?
I do.
You ever notice that?
I do.
Just like,
I noticed
you just like, I'm on
Mm-hmm.
I'm on a 1.
It's effective.
And you just go right up to a 10. You're the Ryan of our relationship.
It's effective.
You just punching people right in the face.
I understand him to a certain extent. The extent of my arm.
So Caleb actually goes through with it. He meets with Kiki and he tells her everything. Were you surprised? I guess, like, I was kind of surprised that he didn't find a way to try to weasel out of this. He actually just does exactly what Sandy asked him to do. He just tells her everything.
I mean, he's kind of in a corner there.
Sure. And then we cut back to, you ever notice how this show has a lot of plot? A lot of plot in this show. I realize this is, I'm putting the show together and I'm having to cut between like 6 different scenes that
it's
are like
almost
30
like
seconds
we should
long.
just talk about one completely and then talk about another
Maybe
completely.
that is a better way to do it, yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of
There's
just
a lot. Does the plot of the show
hopping
ever
back
slow
and
down?
forth and back and forth, and I don't remember.
Anyway, Eddie shows up at Ryan's school and he's ready to punch Ryan in the face, but he doesn't do it yet because there's other people there. But don't you worry, Ryan's gonna get punched in the face before this episode's done.
Because it's not good TV unless someone gets hit in the face.
It's true. It's true. That's because people like Elise run TV. People that just want to punch people for no reason.
We make things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So Seth, being the self-absorbed guy that he is, he tries to get Anna to admit that the reason she's moving away is all because of him. But, you know, she's going through and saying that there's things that she misses about Pittsburgh, like the seasons, her dog, the Jimmy Stewart Museum, and a bunch of other stuff.
I didn't know
Seth just, like, doesn't even hear anything. He's just looking at her and her mouth is moving. And then all of a sudden, Death Cab starts playing in the scene because, yeah, Seth and Anna, they both like music. And so you have to do some iconic 2000s music over their conversation.
Well, they don't just like music. They both love Death Cab. Like Death Cab has been like their thing this entire time, and A Lack of Color is playing over most of the Seth and Anna scenes in this episode, and it's a really good song, and I really like it in this show.
Why don't you sing it?
No.
Why not?
I'm not going to do that.
Why aren't you going to sing it?
This show is really good music, Elise.
Yeah, I told you about the music.
It's got
I told you about how much I liked it.
I know
Remember?
you did. Yeah.
The New Year's episode?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Scott, I just wish you listened to me when I talk. So, someone who does listen to people when they talk is Kirsten. And Kirsten listened to her dad.
That wasn't a good one.
Just give me one. Just give me one. I'm tired. she listens to her dad, you know, all about what he told Sandy and about Uncle Sean and about the company. And she's upset about it. And so she goes and tells Sandy not to do it. You are a good man, Sandy Cohen, and don't let my father cause you to have a black spot on your career, basically.
Don't compromise your integrity for her or her company or any
Sandy,
of them. Don't do it, Sandy.
Sandy loves
That's what
her
she says.
too much.
Don't do it. So then we cut to Seth and Summer on the top of someone's car. I don't know whose car this is because it doesn't seem like Seth has a car. I guess it's Summer's car. Anyway, they're on top of the car and they're making out, but Seth can't stop thinking about Anna.
Not
while
good when
making
you're
out with Summer.
thinking of making out
And he's
with
convinced
your GF.
he's convinced himself that despite what she says, she's lying and she is leaving because of him, nothing else. And this is, Elise, I feel like is the beginning of what I can only guess is going to be the Seth kind of treats Summer like shit, actually, part of the season.
No.
Because like it's just mean. It's just mean to do. Like this is similar. Like remember when he was doing this to Anna when he was dating her and was just all paying attention to Summer. And then he declares his love for Summer, and now a week later is like obsessed with Anna. And
Boy can't make up his mind.
I will say, and I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but I will say that my MVP of this episode is Summer because she like is a saint here. Like she could have gotten really mad at him, but she doesn't. And that's amazing. I love her. I love her.
You love me.
I do.
Me. Elise. Okay?
Okay, Elise. I will. It's a little. It's Ryan level jealousy right there when I say I love a fictional character in a show I'm watching.
My arm. You're too far right now, but I can make that distance shorter.
Okay.
Okay. So, Ryan goes over to try and tell Theresa that he's not sure about what's going on and they don't have a plan. And then Ryan lets himself get a different sort of plan. And you know what? They just sleep together because, yeah, whatever, that's a plan. And Teresa's like, it's not like we haven't done this before, Ryan. And Ryan's like, and
I hope they've got a plan B.
Yeah, because they're going to need some of that, won't they?
The emergency contraceptive pill.
Yeah, I got that. I got that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Eddie is ominously just sitting outside the room in his car. And so he knows, but he doesn't know what happened.
When he went to the school, like his big thing, when he went to the school and confronted Ryan, his big thing was like, are you sleeping with her? Are you sleeping with her? And he asked like 5 times and Ryan's like, no. And he was telling the truth at the time. And then he proceeds to later that day sleep with her. So Eddie's pretty upset.
Yeah.
And now he's going to become the bad guy because the show can't let Ryan be the bad guy, even though
OC.
Let's be honest here, Ryan is being the bad guy right now. Mm-hmm. This is bad call.
She had a life.
She did.
She had a future. Now Ryan's taking it all away.
Yep. The next morning, as they're getting ready to go to school, Ryan reluctantly invites Theresa to Caleb's party. It's this really weird thing where he like invites her. It's this weird back and forth. He's like, "Oh, I just assumed like you didn't want to go." She's like, "Yeah, no, I didn't want to go." He's like, "But I just wanted to invite you." Yeah, I wouldn't have gone anyway. And it's this weird back and forth. Basically, at the end of it, she says, "I just want to make sure you're not embarrassed to bring me to things." And I think he is a little bit. I think he is. I think he's hiding it behind this assumption that this crowd isn't really her scene, but what he's saying by that is that she would not be welcome there. And I think that's going to be a problem for them.
But someone later tries to be welcoming and helps him out and helps her out, which is, I guess, kind of nice.
So Sandy meets with the district attorney and finds out that they're offering Uncle Sean a pretty sweet deal if he routes out Caleb and the Newport group. And actually the DA describes the Newport group as Orange County's Enron.
That's not good, babe.
That's real bad. It's real bad.
That's not good.
He also threatens him. He says if Sandy gets in the middle of this and does anything untoward, they will come down on him and the Newport group as hard as they can. And that is exactly what Sandy does by the end of this episode. He breaks the law. So,
he does break the law. He's just trying so hard. And Marissa's trying so hard to help figure out what's going on with Theresa and Ryan. So she goes over to Teresa's hotel and brings some clothes so that she can go to Caleb's party. She is trying to listen to Luke's advice in this situation and really just trying to be the best friend that she can to these people.
Yeah, it's really nice. I good for her. I have had mixed feelings about Marissa sometimes in this story. I think she can be really selfish and really annoying at times.
Oh yeah, she can be.
But I think this is really good, and I would like to think she does not have any ulterior motive here, and she just really wants to. She cares about Ryan and wants him to be happy. We'll see.
You know why she's not selfish?
Why is that?
Because the bangs.
The
are
bangs
out.
have returned.
Yes, the bangs help shield her from any emotion that people might be emitting that would cause her to have any sort of self-doubt.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Her confidence comes from the bangs.
It should be the opposite. She should feel
It should be the opposite, yes.
unconfidence, Cooper.
It should.
Yeah.
But for some reason, the bangs give Marissa power.
One of our listeners got bangs because of characters in the show and was not thrilled with our interpretation of Coop's bangs.
You know what? Here's the question about
What's that?
Do you still have the bangs?
Yeah, that's a good question. Listener, do you still have the bangs? And if the answer is no, the follow-up question is, well, why not then?
Well, why? Yeah.
Why not? Were they not working for you anymore?
Yeah.
Huh?
You need to go work the bangs.
Stop doing that. She's doing her little dance thing again.
It's just the shoulder roll. I mean, everyone knows when you say it with your voice like that your shoulders are rolling. It's okay.
At Caleb's party, Seth...
For example, hang on. If people could listen to this for a second, if I say work the bangs or work the bangs, you all know which one I'm rolling my shoulder on.
Well, yeah, but you could just say it and not roll your shoulders because it's an audio medium.
Impossible. Continue.
Just be a professional.
I am professional shoulder roller.
At Caleb's party, Seth is busy getting wasted so he can feel comfortable telling Anna that she can't go. And he says, veritas in vino, which is actually, the expression is in vino veritas. So Seth doesn't know what he's talking about. But basically, in wine, there is truth. And so he's applying himself with alcohol to be able to say the truth.
Some champagne, precisely. You know what?
Champagne, yeah.
This is the second show with champagne this week.
No one understands your Bachelor,
Bachelor.
reference. Nobody understands
Champagne
that. Nobody
Gate
listening to this
2020.
Maybe 2 people listening to this podcast watch The Bachelor, and I'm one of them.
I'm the second one.
Well, that's sad.
That is sad.
So for like the first time in maybe the whole show, Summer and Ryan have a conversation. Summer and Ryan have like never talked to each other ever. And they're here having a conversation, and Summer is basically being a good friend, being like, hey, you know, like Coop really loves you, and she does have a really good heart. And as if to prove Summer's point, in walks
Marissa and Theresa.
Bring Theresa in a beautiful dress to the party, and Ryan looks at Coop with this look of, that was real nice. That was a real nice, dog. Thanks.
Yep.
It's a good moment. It's a good moment.
Ryan likes those girls that their names end with sa. Sa, girl. Right?
Yes.
That way he can just go, sa.
So Anna shows up to the party to say goodbye.
Yep.
And she and Summer have a great Golden Girls related farewell that makes me really happy. Because remember, the show like really wanted to pit these 2 girls against each other.
And then it made them friends, and you actually really liked them together as friends.
Yeah, and then it tore them apart again. And I'm just happy here at the end. They're friends, and they're legitimately sad that
It's
each other...
sweet.
And I like that the show gives them that. I really do. I really like it. Seth is busy posing for pictures with his grandfather for some reason, which is the worst fucking smile on his face I've ever seen. So Anna doesn't go talk to him and just leaves her goodbye to Seth in the form of a letter that Ryan sticks into his jacket pocket.
Dumb Ryan.
His right
We
jacket
all know
pocket.
what's going to happen. Nothing good.
If anyone knows what movie I just referenced there, it's probably hard to hear because Elise was talking over me, but
What else is new?
I'll give you $5.
It's not real. You're not going to actually get $5, but whatever. So Luke is at the party, and he sees across the room Mrs. Julie Cooper.
I believe that's Miss Julie Cooper.
Still, whatever. And he goes up and he's getting a little more confident in their relationship.
Yeah, he's whispering about her ass into her ear and like doing a little touchy on her shoulder.
graze.
Yeah.
And you know what? Little boy Jimmy, he sees it off in the distance.
He does. He sees that off in the distance. And my boy
and he makes this face.
Yeah.
Like he knows.
He walks right up to her and he's being as coy as possible. And he's like, this can't possibly be happening, right? I'm crazy to even think about this, right? And of course, Julie's like, what? I don't even know what you're talking about, whatever.
Oh, she knows.
And he says the one thing that is absolutely true, which is that if Marissa found out about this, it would absolutely destroy her. And she's had a really tough year already, which of course means that is exactly what's going to happen very soon. Because if Jimmy knows about it,
everybody's gonna know about it.
It's about to get out everywhere.
Because Jimmy's not the brightest bulb in the box. So if he can pick up on it, lots of people can pick up on it. Yeah. So Sandy, his strong moral compass has been swayed, and he takes Caleb aside and he explains how he solved Caleb's problem. He got the plaintiff to drop the charges against Uncle Sean by promising the guy that guaranteed lumber supply contract on the next big Newport Group project.
Yeah, so just,
Sandy did the dirty work.
Obstruction of justice, racketeer, like all the stuff that Sean was doing, Sandy basically just did to get him off. Yeah. He's compromised his morals for the sake of his wife. And I love this moment where she sees him standing with Caleb and him looking upset.
Scott,
and she knows.
I have a very important question for you. Would you compromise your morals to help me out?
I mean, it's case-by-case basis, baby.
I mean, I'm not asking you to, take the life of anyone or anything.
I would not kill someone for you.
But would you, lie?
Yeah, I would lie. Yeah, that's easy. I'd lie for you.
Would you take some money for me?
Would I steal?
Mm-hmm.
No.
What if it was for a medical procedure that I needed?
What is that movie where I think it's Denzel? Is it Denzel Washington where he takes a bunch of people hostage in a hospital because he needs a heart transplant for his son? Would I do that for you?
Yeah.
No, probably not.
Hostage.
Probably not.
I don't think you would do well with a weapon like that in a hostage situation.
Thanks, babe.
Any sort of corporate thing, though, I could have you do that for me.
So you just want me to do some white collar crime? Great.
Yeah,
Perfect.
why not?
Okay.
It's, everyone's got to get a little experience somewhere.
So Kirsten is so sad for him. I mean, I think part of her appreciates that he's doing this for her, but she's also just really sad. And I'm really sad too. It sucks that you have to compromise yourself. He's in it now, right? There's no going back from this. He's in it now. Eddie shows up at the party because of course he does. And Ryan immediately confronts him physically because time is a flat circle and Ryan learns nothing.
And the only thing Ryan knows how to do is hit people.
Mm-hmm.
Not talking, hitting.
And you know what the funny part about that is?
What?
He's actually super bad at fighting.
Yeah.
Has Ryan won a fight?
No.
He doesn't win this one either. He gets punched in the face twice. He throws Eddie into a table, gets punched in the face twice, and thrown into a pool.
Maybe he'll win something later.
Did you see who the first person to get to Eddie to restrain him is, though?
Luke.
It's Luke. I love Luke.
It was Luke.
Yep.
Luke likes Ryan, and I like that.
Eddie is dragged away, screaming, "Don't ever come home. You're dead. You're dead. Don't ever come home. You're dead." So I guess he's staying in Newport.
And the bad thing about Ryan getting pushed in the pool is that the letter that Anna left for Seth got ruined in the pool, so now Seth can't read it. So he's even more consumed with now the thoughts of the only reason that Anna is leaving is because of him.
Yeah.
And Summer gets hurt because she's like, hey, I don't understand. You just stood on top of the counter and professed your, love for me last week, and now you want her back, and I just don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, he knows that it says "I love you" on it, and that's all he knows.
Yeah.
And he sets her aside and basically says, Summer, it's not like that. She's just my friend, and I don't want her to leave. And Summer, being the coolest girlfriend in the world, says, then go. Go stop her. Go to her, stop her from leaving. And he gives her a kiss on the forehead for that. The forehead.
I mean, sometimes it's nice to get a kiss on the forehead.
Kiss her on the lips, man. You're going to chase after another girl. At least give your girlfriend a peck on the lips. At least stick that tongue in there and wiggle it around.
Note taken. Okay. So Caleb kind of is sad and misses Juju. So he asks Julie if he can give it another shot.
Yeah. What a surprise, right?
Yeah. Show her that she's appreciated. She's interesting. Plan the perfect date.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see as how she leaves it off. But, you know, she really is all about that Luke right now.
Yeah. I mean, but she says, plan the perfect date and we'll see. So
she's going to break Luke's heart.
Yeah. I think that is what's exactly going to happen.
Poor Luke.
But, I think it's probably hard to move back to like old rich Dick when you've been getting like 17, 18-year-old young surfer Dick. You know?
Yeah,
I feel like that would be a rough change for poor Juju. We'll see.
One medical, one natural.
So
a lot going on there.
As Seth and Ryan get to the airport, a cover of "If You Leave" by the band Not a Surf. Have you ever heard of that band? I used to listen to them all the time. Not a Surf. They're unsurprisingly a California band, and they did a really good. This is, I think, one of their most well-known songs. Is this cover of this song? It's really good, and he runs up to Anna, and it's this beautiful moment. And Anna kind of admits that it is, at least partially, Seth's fault.
But not fully, not because she loves him and can't stand being there.
No, she loves him as a friend.
Yeah.
But it has to admit to both of them that they didn't have a lot of chemistry. And that's when you and I feel completely redeemed for absolutely saying they didn't have any chemistry.
I mean, they didn't.
I hope they let Theresa and Ryan know that that is the case as well.
Yeah.
It's this really beautiful moment, and Seth is like honestly distraught and says, but you have such sage wisdom. What am I going to do without you? And she turns and looks at him. And what does she say, Elias?
Confidence. Cohen?
The lines.
It's the last line that she says to him before she turns away.
And she turns away and walks into the airport and out of the show for
the foreseeable
possibly?
Future?
Huh?
The foreseeable future?
Yeah.
Forever?
Yeah.
I can't tell you either way.
It's a really sad moment.
Yeah.
And then as they're heading back, they stop by for the hotel to see Theresa and another goodbye girl, because Theresa has left as well. Mm-hmm. She's gone back to Chino. She's gone to be with Eddie, presumably. Mm-hmm. And they're both alone, so that the show ends with them sitting, eating some pizza, sitting by the boardwalk. And Seth says something here that really pisses me off.
Oh, what does he say?
He says, what if the girl I'm supposed to be with just left? And I'm like, you fucking asshole. You told Summer this had nothing to do with that. You're just friends, and you just didn't want your friend to go. And now you're sitting here with your bro talking about...
Seth doesn't know
He doesn't know what he wants at all. He doesn't know what he wants at all. Summer, look out, girl, because this guy does not know what he wants, and he's going to jump from thing to thing, and you're one of those things.
Okay.
She better
we'll
be
see
using
what happens.
the plan B or plan A.
Yeah.
Be careful. You don't want to get locked down with that.
That's true. It's a little lanky Cohen.
But they do have some Seth Ryan time at the end of the episode, which is always good. It's always good to have Seth Ryan time. They end the episode ironically talking about what they're both wondering what Luke is doing right now. And it's really funny because I think we all know what Luke is doing right now.
Julie.
And I kept waiting for them to like flash cut to that, right? They're wondering what Luke is doing, and then they cut to Luke. They
don't need to, because we all know.
We know.
We all know.
I think it's also a good way to kind of set the stage for the Luke Julie thing is gonna be the thing of next episode. That's my prediction.
Is that what you think?
This is gonna come to a head. More people are gonna find out about it.
Okay. We'll have to see.
We will have to see. But first, it's time to do our relationship status.
Okay, Scott, this week Coop and Ryan last week were at a 2 out of 10, but this week Coop and Ryan moved on from pretending to be friends to perhaps actually being friends. And with Theresa out of the picture, perhaps it's time that Ryan gives Coop another shot. We're going to move him to a 4 out of 10 this week, Scott.
Better. Not great.
So tell me how are Seth and Summer this week?
Well, last week we gave those guys a 9 out of 10. Seth and Summer's relationship wasn't really front and center this episode. More concern with Anna than Seth. But I'm seeing some rumblings of trouble. There's a rumbly in my tumbly, and it's trouble for Summerith. I'm knocking them down a couple points. They're currently at a 7 out of 10.
Okay. This week's Sandy and Kirsten Cohen. Last week we're in 9 out of 10, but this week another couple who didn't have any direct troubles this week, but certainly have some on the horizon. Sandy broke the law and compromised himself for the sake of his wife. And Scott, while that's beautiful, we all can't help but be worried. Here's hoping to the best. We're going to move him down to an 8 out of 10.
All right. Next up, we have Julie Cooper and Caleb Nickel. Last week, you gave him a 2 out of 10. Caleb wants to show Julie how much he appreciated her in bed. I think Julie ends up saying yes to this perfect date, and it looks like Julib is back in business.
Oh, I like that.
I'm giving him a 4 out of 10.
Okay. Luke and Julie, last week we were at a 3 out of 10. This has never been a relationship, and it never will be a relationship, Scott, but now Jimmy knows, and it's only a matter of time before more people do too. And I have a feeling Luke isn't going to be taking the news about Juju's date with Caleb very well, Scott. We're going to move him down to a 1 out of 10. This is real trouble here.
Real trouble. 1 out of
Yes.
10. All right, and we conclude relationship status with Theresa and Ryan. Last week, we gave him a 3 out of 10. This week, they bang. But then Theresa skips town. We'll probably see her again, but I'm not guessing next episode. I'm knocking these two chemistry-free jokers back down to a 1 out of 10.
All right, Scott, that rounds up relationship status for this week. And we've already discussed that we think next week you believe that the Luke and Julie
I think Luke and Juju
expose
is going to
will
be
take
some bad
place.
stuff. I think we've kind of spent some time on this Ryan and Theresa thing. We've moved Theresa out of the show. Cooper hasn't done anything bad in like 4 episodes, and the show just can't let that stand. So we got to get Troublemaker Coop doing something bad again. And you know what would be a great instigating point of the bad to the bone Marissa Cooper?
What?
Finding out her mom's banging her ex-boyfriend.
That would do it.
So that's what I'm thinking is going to happen on next week's episode, which is episode 22, The LA.
The law.
So what? Do they call it the Los Angeles? I don't understand.
It's the law.
What are you talking about?
The law.
L.A., the
Law?
city. No. Elise, go to bed. I'm going to do the outro. You go ahead and go to bed. That's all we have time for this week. If you like this podcast, maybe not this episode, but this podcast, you can check it and all the other shows we do over at our website, doofmedia.com. Shows. I'm trying to plug my show.
You already plugged one show. Don't be greedy.
I'm going to plug it again because it's important on the first week.
That's fine.
King Slingers, Covering the Dark Tower is out this Thursday. You can go to doofmedia.com/kingslingers and you will find links to where you can subscribe to it on every single medium there is out there. Please subscribe now and listen. I'm really excited about it.
Did you already share with everybody how you got the name for that show?
I did.
It's a pretty good name.
Yeah, Elise came up with the name. We've talked about this before.
It's just I want everyone to remember how creative I am.
You're so creative, babe.
And how everything that is really good with Doof, like, you're welcome.
You're the idea person, babe. It's you.
Hey,
No one
Scott.
ever doubted that.
Hey, Scott.
What?
Where'd you get your name for the show?
For this show?
No, for your company. That's what I meant.
From a fully well-rested Elise whose brain is functioning properly.
Yes, that is correct.
Also, consider donating.
Scott.
Yes.
Who do you love the most?
Ghost right now. Ghost and Penny.
Oh,
And you.
thank you.
And my
Okay,
beautiful
continue.
wife.
Continue.
Consider donating to our Patreon account. That's patreon.com/doofmedia. You can donate $1, $5, $10, $20 a month.
50.
50 if you want. $1 billion. You can donate $1 billion a month,
Too
Jeff.
much money.
Do you
Too
think
much
Jeff?
money.
You think Jeff listens?
Jeff?
Bezos.
No.
If you're
I
listening,
don't think he likes the OC.
if you're listening, Mr. Bezos, I know you love The Expanse. I love The Expanse too.
Does he really?
Yeah, he saved it. It's on Amazon now.
Oh.
So come, just donate $1 billion a month. You'll be doing some good.
But I don't think we need $1 billion a month. What would we do with all of that?
Oh my God, what would we not do? Anyway, if you happen to be listening via Apple Podcasts, why don't you head on over there and drop us a rating and a review. Every single review helps more people find the show. Maybe tell them to skip this episode. All right, we will see you next week for episode 22, The LA.
The law.
Farewell from the OC and, oh, I get it.
From the law.
I get it. That's why they're doing the LA, because it's the OC and the LA. I get it now. Farewell from the OC and the LA.
The O.
Bitches.